Hello, my name is Chloe. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you my October TBR. So it is spooky season. I have my spooky jumper. It's very full, my spooky mug of tea, which I will not be drinking as I'm filming this in September, and this is the strangest September weather ever. I am currently sweating. I put this on because it's a cute aesthetic, but I'm kind of sweating. So the important thing to start off with here is I am taking part in Spookoplathon, which is Becca from Becca in the Books Bookopoly or Bookoplathon round for October 2023. I am so excited to take part. I always do a Bookopoly. Even when I was doing stressful exams last year, I just had to take part. So this year is no different, and I am so excited to take part. I am assuming if you're here, you know what Spookoplathon is, but what I will do is obviously link Becca's announcement video down in the description if you don't know what I'm talking about, but I will not be spending time talking you through the rules. The first thing I actually have to do is pull my Patreon TBR jar for the month. So every month I pick a book from the jar, which is books from my TBR chosen by the La Push Beach and Cullen House tier patrons. So I had to do that one first, so when I did my rolls for the board I could make it work. So back to Past Chloe, who picks that book. So these are books suggested by the top 2 tiers of my Patreon that they would like me to read. No matter how long you're in the top 2 tiers, you do get a vote in the jar. So let's see what I get. We have this one. I always try and not edit these so you can tell I'm not cheating. Oh no! I really didn't want to read this. This is Michael's pick, which is the 10,000 Doors of January. As you can see, we got the 10,000 Doors of January, and that will be making an appearance later on in the video. Okay, so for Spookoplathon, I decided to do 10 rolls round the board. Obviously, that's 10 rolls plus any doubles I might roll. Bit of foreshadowing there for the video. What I first did is I actually took you with me. When I say took you with me, I filmed it here. When I'd printed out the board and was making my community shelf and chance card prompts, I thought I would show you what I was doing so that you knew every possibility of what I could get from the board. So again, back to Past Chloe, who will explain those. Hello, so I am currently setting up my Bookoplathon board. I have just done the chance cards, so I thought I would run through with you what I've put on there. We have Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney, Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa, Ace of Spades, and The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. So these are the 4 books that my patrons were voting on for the buddy read this month. At the time of filming, I don't know which one has won. Worst Best Man is looking good. Ace of Spades is also looking good, but these aren't so much. So these are my books that are going to be good choices, and these are pretty much bad choices. The Last House on Needless Street is my book club read. Kind of middle, Gallagher Girls #1 by Ali Carter. I've always wanted to reread it, just have never got round to it. Betrayed by PC and Kristen Cast is the 2nd book in the House of Night series, just not really bothered either way on that one. Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow. This is a book that I have wanted to read forever and I always put off. Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. Kind of need to read it, but it's huge. And Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson. Not bothered either way, can probably pick up the audiobook. So then the reason I actually started filming is the community shelf cards. But I couldn't think of anything, so I thought what I would do to fill out these things, I have 10 of them, I'm going to pull them from Larry, my TBR, I can't get this in frame, Larry the TBR llama is going to pick my 10 prompts that I fill these out with. First up is Sam from Griff Reads prompt, which is to do an Instagram or Goodreads scroll. These will go back in the jar after for vlogs. Amelia, food on the cover or as a theme. Ooh, Katie is a book that inspired me. I remember you giving me this prompt and it's scary. Kitty, a book that's blurbed by a favourite author. Rhiannon, a murder mystery. Becca, spicy books. Ooh, books that match my tattoos. I like this one. Mal, books that are on the edge of an unhaul. Oh, picking from Terence the TBR Tortoise. And finally, Colleen Hoover. And here we go then, it is time to start my rolls, so back again to Past Chloe for roll number 1. Okay, so time to film my rolls. My counter is the only crystal I own, but it fits perfectly on these spaces. And I don't own any dice, so I have found a website that has 2 dice that you can roll. So first roll is a 7, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which is a chance card. I don't know if I've shuffled these, so I will give them a quick shuffle. And the one I have picked is Oh my god, the best one in there. So Last House on Needless Street, which is my book club read for the month. As you saw there, it was a chance card, so no swaying what I pick. I got The Last House for Needless Street by, my brain wants me to say Katrina, but apparently the author pronounces it Catriona. So Catriona Ward. This is the book club pick for Chloe's Crime Scene Corner for October. I will link the announcement video where I talk about that, but if you don't know, Chloe's Crime Scene Corner is a book club that I run where we read dark, horror, thriller fictions and true crime non-fiction in alternate months. October is a horror book. I have read Looking Glass Sound by this author and kind of loved it, kind of was confused. So I'm intrigued to see what I think of this one. This book has fantastic reviews. I don't know much about it. I feel like every time I read the blurb, I get more excited. For now, I just want to leave it, go in knowing what I know now. But yeah, this is a dedicated book that was on my TBR anyway, and thank you to the chance card, I now get to read it. Roll number 2 is a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is Spoopy. So for roll number 2, we got Spoopy, and I think that is the perfect time for A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon by Sarah Hawley. I am actually buddy reading this one with my lovely friend Faith, and I'm so excited to read it. This, all I know, is a romance with paranormal elements. I don't know whether it's just demons, there is magic. It's the kind of thing, it's like a fantasy romance, but the fantasy elements we're taking, I'm kind of considering as slightly scary. So I'm saying this works for Spoopy. I don't quite know the actual definition of spoopy. I'm gonna say this works. Spooky but cute, right? Right? Magic is spooky but cute. I'm gonna read this one. So this is about Mariel, who is prophetized to be the most powerful witch seen in centuries, but she prefers baking bread to brewing potions. When a spell goes very wrong, Mariel finds herself staring down a demon, one she inadvertently summoned for a soul bargain. What is going on out there? Okay, now I've let my lighting go weird just for going to the window. I wish I wouldn't have. It was a half-naked guy battling the door of the bin store to the building opposite. This area has gone very downhill. Anyway, Osroth the Ruthless is a legend among his kind, but ever since a bargain went awry, he's been a laughingstock. A deal with Mariel could earn back his deadly reputation. However, getting Mariel to sign over her soul is going to be a lot harder than he anticipated. It just sounds like it's going to be a fun time. I am definitely intrigued by the whole premise. I've heard amazing reviews and cover looks cute. Roll number 3 is 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh my god, which is another chance card. And the book I've got this time is... I'm kind of scared to flip this over. Gallagher Girls #1 by Ali Carter. Next up, I got another chance card and I was excited to read this book again, but kind of like not something I was prioritizing for this month. It is I'd Tell You I Love You, But Then I'd Have to Kill You by Ali Carter, which is book #1 of the Gallagher Girls series. This is a series where there are teenage girls in a boarding school for spies, and one of them falls in love with a boy from outside, I'm pretty sure. It says Cami Morgan might be capable of killing a man in 7 different ways, but she's about to begin her most dangerous mission yet, falling in love. And I loved this book when I was about 12, pushing 13. It's definitely when I still had to do art at school. I want to say like 13. Want to read it again? Is October the time? It is now. It wouldn't have been without Spookoplathon. Roll number 4 is a 6. Which is a poll pick, and I'll be running a poll over on my Twitter. Make sure you'll follow me on Twitter. It's always linked down in the description. I'll do a poll on Twitter, and I think I might go for some nice romances. We'll see. Okay, so next up I did a poll pick, which I will put on the screen. I've had to get it up in front of me to remind me what I did. I'll do it in bottom up order. We had the rainbow, which was Rainbow Grey by Laura Ellen Anderson. We had the like weird chisel-y thing, which was The Night She Disappeared by Lisa Jewell. I needed something with digging. The Bird, which is Dear Mrs. Bird by AJ Pierce, and The Flame, which I will tell you because that is the book that won with 46%. But these were all books from my These Books Shall Self-Destruct video. I thought it was apt to choose this one because that video was also inspired by Becca, so I will link that video down below too. But the fire was We Played With Fire by Catherine Barter. This is the Spirit Talking Fox Sisters Await You. It's a book I picked up at Yelk last year. It just really isn't appealing to me that much anymore, so I will link the video. As I said, I won't read you through the whole blurb again because if you've watched all my videos then you've already seen me talk about this. So yeah, fire emoji because it was fire in the cover. You guys picked this on Twitter, so this is what I'm going to be reading. So roll number 5 is 2 and it is a double, so we need to add a roll. 1, 2, which is a Becca rec. Okay, so next up we have Becca rec, and I went to Becca's fantasy romance recommendations playlist. This is all very Becca inspired. So I went to her fantasy romance recommendations and I kept seeing Rhapsodic by Laura Thalassa, which I loved. Rhapsodic, 5 stars. So I kind of did a bit more digging into the videos, and when I heard Laura Thalassa's name mentioned again, I just had to go with it. So the book I will be reading is Pestilence, is that how you say that? By Laura Thalassa, which is book 1 of the 4 Horsemen series. I was approved for this on NetGalley. I requested it just after I finished Rhapsodic, and I know next to nothing about it because as soon as I saw the picture come up on the screen for Becca, I stopped watching. I'm going to read it, saying that that is her recommendation, and I want to go in without knowing too much. I don't really know that level of like mythology, so I'm going in a bit dumb. If the fantasy romance part is there, I'm going to say I'm going to love it. So thank you, Becca, for the recommendation. Roll number 6. Oh God, it's another double, but that's an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is most recent purchase. Next up we have most recent purchase. So at the time of filming and picking my prompts, my most recent haul was my August book haul, and the last one I actually bought on that haul was The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This has had amazing reviews, really amazing reviews. I feel like I've read the blurb out so many times. I might just link my August book haul as well. You're just getting all of my past videos in this. This is about a housemaid who every day I clean the Winchesters' beautiful house. The Winchesters don't know who I really am. They don't know what I'm capable of, and I think it sounds fantastic. It gives me Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware mixed with What Lies Between Us by John Mars. Those are the 2 books it's making me think of. I have very high expectations, so I'm hoping I love this. Roll number 7. Oh, are you kidding me? It's another double, but it is a 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is Feed Scroll. Okay, next up, the one I am scared of is Feed Scroll, because I follow a lot of people with very different book tastes to me. I know there are different ways you can kind of do this. I'm going to record my screen and I'm going to go to Instagram, and the first book I see that I own, I'm going to read it. So, Instagram. Okay, it's loading. I'm not looking. Okay, we have Project Fear. We have a Dove advert. We have a library advert. We have a lovely picture of Lindsay. Fortnite ad, coming to cosplay, Kane Brown, TBR, Depop drama. I don't know who these people are. I'm so glad that you've had your baby. There's Rosie Talbot, a turtle. This is not going too well. Steph and a Pumpkin, Lily Allen. I don't own, this is the first book I have seen and I don't own it. Oxfam. Some sprayed edges, lovely sprayed edges, Emily, but no. Don't own this book. Okay, I'm not gonna count a stack in a reel. I didn't even look what was on there. Don't own this. Don't own that. Oh, lovely. Lovely pics, boops. This is why I don't really use Instagram anymore. Okay, I own none of, okay, one of those books is Twilight. I could push that because I am doing my Twilight along, so I could use the next book, but it's technically not Twilight. I've now just realised there's going to be cuts in this if I'm just staring. I promise you I'm being transparent. I have nothing to gain from lying. Nope. Don't own that. That's a whole bookshelf. Wildfire. Oh, I love that book. Oh no, it's a different Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I don't own that. Verity. Kind of read that one a few times. The Book Thief. I don't own that. Oh my god. Don't own that. That's a Kindle. Don't own that. Don't own that. Oh, it's the new, is that the new Housemaid? No, Molly the Maid. Oh, the new, yes, I loved the Maid. Don't own that. Don't own that. I own like 700 books. Surely something should have come up by now. Oh no, I didn't really want to read this. Okay, so it's the Knock 'Em Out series by Lucy Score, so I guess I'm reading Things We Never Got Over. Okay, so I didn't particularly want to read this one this month, but it's happening. It is kind of good because when I go back to America, I can talk to the mother-in-law about it. She has been telling me that I need to read this book, so I think I need to give her my opinion. I don't think she's read it yet. I'm not gonna look into it. This is really, really hyped. I bought the first and second books without knowing anything about them. I know the third one has just come out and that was the point for that Instagram post. Let's do this. Number 8 is a 9, which is Daphne du Maurier. Next up, I got Daphne du Maurier and I looked through the help from Becca because this one I was struggling with and it was Gothic books. So I am finally going to read Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I won't read the whole description because it's very, very long. It says this is a mesmerizing feminist reimagining of Gothic fantasy in which a young socialite discovers the haunting secrets of a beautiful old mansion in 1950s Mexico. It sounds kind of difficult to read and like it's gonna need my intelligence, which we will pull from somewhere, but I have seen absolutely fantastic reviews. It says, he's trying to poison me, you must come for me, Noemi. Oh, that's definitely not how you pronounce that, I'm so sorry. You have to save me. Oh, the purple is so nice. Thank you, Spookoplathon, for making me pick this. What are we on now? Number 9 is a 10. Which is Pumpkin Spice. Next up, I got Pumpkin Spice, and I'm going to be reading The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa. This is not quite the spiciest book that I own, but it is the Patreon buddy read for the month. So this is another one where the La Push Beach and Cullen House Tears do a buddy read every month. We do a vote of the books on my TBR and choose together what we're going to pick. At the time of filming my rolls and planning my TBR, this had the most votes, so I called it early and said, guys, we're reading The Worst Best Man. This is about a wedding planner left at the altar. This is about Lena, who is offered an opportunity to change her life. There's just one hitch. She has to collaborate with the best, make that the worst man from her own failed nuptials. Marketing expert Max is determined to make his mark with a coveted hotel client looking to expand its brand. But then he learns he'll be working with his brother's whip-smart, stunning, absolutely off-limits ex-fiancée, and she loathes him. Enemies to lovers, I am sure. I hope we get some absolute spice for the pumpkin spice latte. And yeah, just sounds really cool, and thank you for the guys who voted for this one. What should have been my last roll is a 7. Which is another chance card. So here we are. The third chance card I'll be reading is Betrayed by PC and Kristen Cast. Okay, so I think I need to count up all the pages on my TBR because this is looking horrific so far. I'm actually scared. But as you will see, the next roll got me Betrayed by PC and Kristen Cast. This is book 2 in the Marked series, which I am making my way through, reading, annotating with all my thoughts. I reread Marked and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, which seriously, if you look back at that book, it's a good rating. We're following Zoe Redbird, who has been taken to the House of Night after she is marked. She has the like moon tattoo on her forehead. She has some magic powers. It's very, very exciting. It is very 2010s YA vampire supernatural magic book. I'm really hoping the second book lives up to my memories. It's been a long time since I read them. And yeah, excited to pick this one up again. Just wasn't really planning on it in October. Doubles roll number 1 is an 8. Which is TBR Vet. Next up we have our TBR Vet, and that is where I've managed to fit The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. I am so scared to read this. Let's just read the inside, shall we? It says, every story opens a door. In a sprawling mansion filled with peculiar treasures, January Scaller is a curiosity herself. As the ward of the weirdly Mr. Locke, she feels little different from the artifacts that decorate the halls, carefully maintained, largely ignored, and utterly out of place. But her quiet existence is shattered when she stumbles across a strange book. A book that carries the scent of other worlds and tells a tale of secret doors, of love, adventure, and danger. Each page reveals more important truths about the world, and January discovers a story increasingly entwined with her own. Doesn't really sound like my cup of tea. I got it because it's gorgeous, and I did intend on reading it one day. Michael put it in the TBR jar, which made me very scared for when I was going to pull it out. It's happened. We're gonna love it. We're gonna love it. Doubles roll number 2 is a 5, which is purple. Next up, purple. So I got the first spine that jumped out to me as purple, and that is You've Reached Sam by Dustin Tao. When we then move to the cover, there is a little bit of pink, but I'm saying that this is a mostly purple cover. This one is going to break my heart, I am so sure. It says 17-year-old Julie Clark has her future all planned out. Move out of her small town with her boyfriend Sam, attend college in the city, spend a summer in Japan. But then Sam dies and everything changes. Heartbroken and desperate to hear him one more time, Julie calls Sam's phone just to listen to his voicemail recording. And Sam picks up the phone. The connection is temporary, but hearing Sam's voice makes Julie fall for him all over again, and with each call, it becomes harder to let him go. This is going to break my heart, I'm fully aware. And I had a few purple books, but this one was really drawing me in. Not quite the spooky choice, but I'm excited. And my final roll, unless this is a double, is 9. Which is Mary Shelley. Okay, so the 13th and final roll was Mary Shelley. I went to Becca's help again. It said sci-fi or a book with sci-fi elements like alternate worlds. So I'm gonna go for The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I first wanted this back when it was really hyped. I have had it since 2020 and I just haven't reached for it yet. So from what I know, it says one library, infinite lives, and I believe we follow the character through all her possible lives, and I'm taking that as the sort of alternate reality that would count as the Mary Shelley sci-fi part. I don't really know. I know it's very hyped, and I'm just going to leave it at that because this one is probably the scariest one for me on my TBR. I didn't want the tea because it's hot, but I am so thirsty. Okay, I actually got cut off by my camera for talking for too long. That's how we know we've been here a while. So I have 3 more books to talk about that I can't take off my TBR. I have made promises to people, so they're gonna happen. But the look of these on top of this TBR makes me so incredibly anxious, I might throw up. The first one is How to Kill Men and Get Away With It by Katie Brent. I am buddy reading this one with Victoria this month, so I'm actually gonna go away now and split this book up as days pages for us both to read, because I feel like that is going to be the most productive way to tackle this on the TBR. This gives me Sweet Pea vibes, it gives me Luckiest Girl Alive vibes, and both of those books I have read on Victoria's recommendation, so it only felt right to read this one with her. This says Meet Kitty Collins, friend, lover, killer. He was following me, that guy from the nightclub who wouldn't leave me alone. I hadn't intended to kill him, of course, but I wasn't sorry when I did, and despite the mess I made, I appeared to get away with it. That's where my addiction started. I've got a taste for revenge, and quite frankly, I'm killing it. It sounds so exciting, and yeah, I'm really excited to read it with Victoria. I think it's gonna be fun. When am I gonna do it? I will. Next up, another book I have promised is Breaking Dawn by Stephanie Meyer. This is book 4 in the Twilight saga, and it is thick. I am doing the Twilight along, where every month we buddy read a Twilight book and then watch the corresponding Twilight movie in the following month. So October is time for Breaking Dawn. How big is this? 750 pages. When am I reading this? At some point. And finally, you might have got a flash of it then when I threw it over, I am buddy reading a book with Ali from Mythic Melancholy. We're going to be reading a very hyped book together, and that is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. How do I feel about this? Stressed, scared, unsure, unready. I need to split the pages up. I'm sure you've heard what this book is about, and basically I was praying this came up for feed scroll. It didn't, but it's fine. Right, I'm gonna go away now and figure out how big this TBR is and whether it's possible, so bear with. Also not forgetting Pestilence, which is on my NetGalley, so can't forget that. Right, I don't think I can do this. I haven't read over 5,000 pages in a long time. This stack is 8,100. Oh no, it's not, I read it wrong. 6,194 pages. Jesus, I just had a minor heart attack. So 6,194 pages, which averages out at 199.8 pages a day. I don't think I can lift this. Just about. It doesn't fit on screen. Woman killed by weight of TBR comes to my mind. This is my TBR for the month. Am I crazy? Let me know. I've been talking for far too long, so thank you very much, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.